Welcome to my channel, and I'm here to inspire you, give you crochet advice, and help you along with your next project. If you enjoyed this pattern, please give me a thumbs up or even comment so I can gauge your interest. It helps me to know what to film next. I'm not very formal. Here's today's zinger. Stitch markers are for quitters. I'm just kidding. I use them too. Oh, all these crochet jokes. Just so sad. Let's begin today's tutorial. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends over at yarnspirations.com. Today we have another edition of this type of concept. So originally we did this. This is the Showtime hat, and I wondered about changing the direction of the jumping up and down. So I was just playing and I thought, well, maybe I can go like a cha-cha. So cha-cha up, cha-cha down, cha-cha up, cha-cha down. So what I have here is that I changed the direction on how this is going. So this here was going up on a straight line, and then I did this so that it does a textured chevron as it goes across. And with this color yarn, it's the kiss of fabulousness, and so I came up with this concept. Once I did this, this is a cowl snoodie, you can find this on our website, is that I wondered, can this be done in a hat? So here's what today's project is going to be. So it's the same stitch combination done as a hat. I'm going up and down and using also the same brim that we did before because I love this, the Camel Stitch. And what I love about it is that it provides double texture even for this texture here. So you're going to notice that it's going to go chevron up and chevron down, and we're going to do this. So we have a free pattern that you can get on the more information of this video, and all of our patterns work that way, just in case you want to know that for the future. So what we have is a free pattern, and today we're going to dive into this using a 4mm size G crochet hook, and the yarn I'm going to be using today is the Red Heart Roll With It Melange, and the color I'm going to be using is called Tabloid. So I haven't used this color before. It looks fun, and so that's what I'm going to try today. So let's talk about the ins and outs of this hat. This hat is a continuous revolution. So you can see here my stitch marker that I placed, and so you can see it's a little askew here, right here, but it's no big deal. And what you're going to notice if you look really carefully is that it does go up on a spiral, but if you handle it properly it looks pretty cool. So if I took out this, you probably wouldn't notice that so much, and a crocheter, a good one, or somebody that's really paying attention to stitch work could probably see that there's a height difference. But for most of us, including myself, like once you start wearing this you kind of forget about it anyway. So it's going to go as a continuous spiral right to the top. You can add a pom-pom if you wish, or just leave it off, you decide. And so you'll need a stitch marker for today's project. Let's begin and start with the brim. So as always, there's a free pattern. See the link in the more information in this video. You can access this, and we'll just be going through these instructions. These will be off camera, but I will be going through those step by step. Let's begin right now. Let's begin by using a very long tail, just enough that you can put it onto a tapestry needle and then use that to hide in the loose end later, and you will want to have it longer than usual. So just keep it about yay long. So I want you to create a slip knot, and we're going to chain 80, but I do not want you to join at the end of the 80. So what we're going to do is just chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and go all the way to 80. Meet me back here in a moment. Now that I have my 80, what I want to do is make sure that there's not a weird twist to it. So I just want to lay it out and just kind of use my thumb, making sure that this does not have a weird twist. So the number 80 is really critical, and we will recheck it after the end of the first round just to make sure. And so I'm just making sure there is no twist. Once you have this done, I want you to lay it down so that the back hump of the chain is facing up, and that's where I want you to play to start with round number 1. Let's begin that next. So let's begin round number 1. So notice I did not join it. We're going to do it as a continuous revolution. We will use that stitch marker at the end to make sure that we can see it, but from this point we don't need it yet. So I want you to half double crochet starting in the very first back hump of the chain, and I want you just to half double crochet it, and I want you to work across the back hump of the chain all the way back around. There should be a total count of 80 half double crochets. So if you don't have 80, maybe you have 79, just make sure that you throw in an extra stitch somewhere, and if you have 81, just subtract out a stitch, and we will use that tail just to pull things closer if you had to. So just try to get 80 though, and try to save yourself some drama. So just make sure you half double crochet on the back hump of the chain all the way around. So I've now just come all the way around. I have verified there's only 80 half double crochets, and so what I want to do in the very last stitch here is that I want to place a stitch marker. It's just a spare piece of yarn, and then you're just gonna pull it through the underside of that stitch. Every time you pass this, I want you to move that stitch marker up each and every time. Okay, so that's gonna go for now on. And what I need you to do is stretch this out and making sure that it doesn't have a weird twist to it. So the way that it's done is a continuous circle, so this will jet down that you see there, and that's why we have the long tail, because we're gonna stabilize that after this round. So what we're going to do is move on to round number 2 next. Round number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, all 5 rounds are going to be the camel stitch. And what this is going to do, starting in the very first one, you need to see the top of the stitch. Do you see it right there? The camel stitch is using the 3rd horizontal bar in behind so that it turns this over to make it look like it's knitting. So you're gonna half double crochet. So this is achieved every time you do a half double crochet. So that's why we are doing a half double crochet, because it creates that bar in behind. So once you get the first one, the rest of it will stay really easily accessible to you. Okay, so you're just gonna half double crochet on that, and it's gonna turn the front of that stitch over and in front. So once you do the first one, you just continue to go to the next one, and what this is doing is it's creating that ridge. And so you're going to go all the way around using the camel stitch concept on the horizontal bar in behind. And so the 5 rounds that you have to do of 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is all this. And what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna be back in just a moment at the end of this round, and we're going to secure the very first strand that we had to kind of stabilize this off to make it flat looking. And so please camel stitch all the way around for round number 2. I'll be right back. So I'm back, and I have a mistake in here. So I have 81 stitches. I just did a double count just to make sure. So how I'm going to do this, and you can do this too. So if you ended up with 79, you could put 2 camel stitches on the same last stitch to get yourself to 80. In my case, I have an extra stitch, so I have 81. So what I'm going to do is that I am going to put the last 2 stitches together as one stitch, even in the camel stitch. So just wrap the hook and going into the horizontal bar, pull through, and then go into the next horizontal bar. So wrap and go through and pull through, and then pull through all of those loops. And so that became still then the camel stitch, but using a 2 together. So it's kind of a cheating thing, but who wants to frog if you don't really have to? So you can get away with that pretty easily, and therefore you got yourself back to 80 stitches. So that's kind of a real mistake I actually did. So what I want to do is that I want to get rid of this tail end, and so I'm going to use a tapestry needle, and watch how I do it, is that we want to drag it across the stitch work to flatten this out. So what I'm going to do is just turn it to the inside. Okay, you can tell which is the inside. See, this is the nice side. So you're gonna turn it to the inside, and you're gonna go across this piece over here. The further you go, the better off you are. And what this is going to do when you pull it, it's going to pull this flat edge down. And just kind of pull it like that. And then you're gonna go back in the other direction. Slightly different path. If you go in the same path, it'll just pop out. So just weave it in, those fibers stay to the inside of the hat, and go back across. And then finally one more time. So back and forth 3 times, and what that's doing is it's flattening out that brim so that you can still work in your continuous revolution. Once you have it woven in 3 times, you should be able to safely cut that right down to the project, and you'll never see that again. So we're now going to continue then into rounds number 3, 4, 5, and 6. Exactly what you know. The counts have been corrected now, so I should just be able to go in a continuous revolution for the remaining of this brim section. Let's do rounds number 3, 4, 5, and 6. So picking up where I left off, continuing the next horizontal bar. So I want you to do rounds number 3, 4, 5, and 6, and every time you pass the stitch marker, move the stitch marker up so that you can keep an eye on it and just record it on a piece of paper. And I'm gonna meet you at the end of row number 6 in a moment, so just continue with these horizontals, and I'll be back in a moment at the end of round number 6. So just continue with the camel stitch. I'll be back. So I've now just finished to the end of round number 6. Looks really quite awesome, right? And now that you've done the continuous rounds, it looks pretty cool. So let's begin rounds number 7, 8, and 9. They're all the same, and instead of doing the back bar here for a camel stitch, I just need you to do the regular stitch, but do it on the back loop only. So starting on the next one, so together both stitches equal a stitch, or both loops equal a stitch. If you do the front one here, this is the front loop, and if you do the one that's away from you by diving through the middle to the outside here, that's the back loop. So I need you to back loop single crochet for 3 rounds and move up that stitch marker when you get there and continue to mark those. So I'm gonna see you at the end of round number 9 in just a moment. So just back loop single crochet for 3 rounds and I'll see you at the end of number 9. I'll be right back. I'm now here at the end of round number 9. So I have my 3 rounds of my back loop single crochet done. Now the texture is going to get exciting. So now rounds number 10 through 14 is the repeat of the body, and I will be repeating that one more time after we do it once, and then a partial time after we do it, but we'll cover that more later. So as we begin round number 10, what we have to keep in mind is that whenever we do our front loop treble, is that it counts as the stitch that it's sitting in front of. So let's begin round number 10. To begin round number 10, you are going to single crochet in the back loop. So always stay in the back loop unless I tell you otherwise, is that you're going to do the next 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to do a front loop treble to the 3rd round below. So this is 1, 2, and 3 right there. Do you see it? So when you do a front loop treble, you're going to wrap twice, and you're going to go into the remaining front loop that's available to you 3 rows below, and then you're just going to pull through and then pull through 2, 2, 2. So this counts as the stitch that it's sitting in front of. So that's technical, so make sure you don't use that stitch and you immediately start the repeat on the next stitch after that. So it's 4 in a row. So single crochet 4 in a row in the back loop. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now you're gonna do the front loop treble again, but here's a tip. If you follow this, if you look at the front loops down here, you can count them over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you see it's the 5th one down anyway, but that helps you just to verify that you are in the right front loop, if that helps you to know that. So these grouping of 5 stitches that you have is what makes it that 80. So that's why 80 is divisible in this thing. So that counts as the stitch that it's sitting in front of, so don't count that one and start immediately in the next one. So 4 single crochets in the back loops in a row, and then jump down. So you can just look down or you can count over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and do that. And please do this all the way around for round number 10, and I'll be right back in a moment. So I'm coming up to the end of round number 10, and I'm gonna show you something that is not written in the pattern because I don't know how to explain it. So you can see that because of the continuous revolution is that we end up over here. I see how it's a step higher. So what I'm recommending to you, whenever you come back to the stitch marker, you always match the same level of this. So when you go, so it's technically at the very last stitch, it's not 3, but it's actually 4 rounds below. So I'm just going to continue to finish. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and see where the stitch marker is? That's the drop down one. So I want to drop down to the same level of this one, and the reason why I'm doing that, just so that you understand, is that the very next stitch is going to be 3rd stitch down. So if you match it to this one here, you're going to have one section that appears that it's not stepping at all. So that's why I want you to go down to the 4th on the very last stitch. I don't know how to explain that in a pattern. Maybe you do. Maybe you can comment and let me know. So what I want to do is come on and move that stitch marker up and finish round number 10. So keep that in mind. I will show you again in number 11 that I'm going down a step that you see. Do you see that? So let's begin round number 11. So now everything in the body of the hat is going to be very easy to maintain because now you've established where the stitches are. So everything is going to build on top of each other really quite beautifully. Let's begin number 11, and we're going to start with the front loop treble, 3rd stitch down, and you're going to start with that as being your very next stitch. So do you see what I'm saying? Like if you would not have jumped down to the 4th, this stitch would have been at the same height. okay, and we don't want that. So then that counts as the stitch that it's sitting in front of. So it's then going to be the next 2 stitches are going to be single crochet in the back loop only, so stay within the back loop, and then the next stitch after this is dropping down, so it's the one just before this front loop. Okay, do you see that? So now this stitch here, this front loop here, is going to be a single crochet in the back loop only, and now you're going to repeat. So basically you're putting in these front loop trebles in between the groups that you already see. So let's drop down for the next one, and then the 2 middle ones are single crochet in the back loop, and then the next one is a drop down just before this one here. See that? Isn't that neat? So single crochet, I'll show you one more time. So drop down and the one after it. The 2 middle are single crochet in the back loop, and then you drop down like that. So you're gonna do this all the way around, and I'll see you at the end of round number 11 in a moment. That's what it looks like. So I'm coming all the way back around, and I am just finishing up the idea of going. Now remember what I did before when I came back around. I jumped down so that it matches the beginning, and I will be doing that again on this one here in the end of number 11. Okay, so I want to jump on down, and I want to come all the way to the 4th one down. Okay, so that keeps it in line with this one here. Do you see it? And then the very last stitch is a single crochet in the back loop of the first one that we started with. Okay, there we go, done. So now we're going to begin round number 12. So let's begin round number 12. We're going to be filling in these gapping spaces that you have. The rest of it will be single crochets in the back loop. So you're gonna start with the first one, so single crochet in the back loop, and then you're going to do the front loop treble over the next 2. So just come to the 3rd one down. So you're just filling in the spaces, nice and easy to see. So do 2 in a row, and then the rest of it that you have here, those are single crochet in the back loop only. So 1, 2, and 3. So you're just gonna repeat that around. So just fill in the space. So 2 in a row, 3rd down, and then single crochet in the back loop over the next 3. So please complete this all the way around for number 12, and you can see it's now just was up, down, and etc. Please do this all the way around number 12. Okay, I'm coming up to the end of number 12 here, and I'm just finishing up the sequence, and I'm just finishing up here. So 1, 2, 3. So on the end of number 12 I don't jump down to the one here, but you can if you want to, but I just keep it because of where it is. The stitch marker is way over here, so I don't want to impede on that. So I'm going to then just slip stitch, or sorry, a single crochet back loop in the next 2 remaining stitches then for number 12. Do you see that? Okay, so what I want to do is do 2 more rounds before the sequence will repeat itself. So let's do rounds number 13, or sorry, 13 and 14. So rounds 13 and 14 are going to be single crochet on the back loop only, like you did way down here, and this is gonna create a little bit of a space so that it has the relief to show this texture even more. So in the next 2 rounds, just single crochet in the back loop only, and just record it as you pass the stitch marker. So please do rounds number 13 and 14 single crochet back loop. I'll be back in a moment. So right now I'm at the end of number 14. So here's what I need you to do. I need you to do rounds number 10 through 14 one more time, so just one more time, and then I need you to do rounds number 10 through 12 once, and then that's where I'm gonna pick you up next time. So as you begin number 10, right where you're sitting, you have to establish your new ones that come down. So if you look back at number 10, it was 4 in a row. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and watch. Do you see this? See how it lines up? It's the same. So you go down 3, you do your front loop treble, and you see it matches exactly, and I would do exactly what I showed you here by coming down that extra one as you come into the slip stitch. So please repeat now rounds number 10 through 14 once, 10 through 12 once, and then I'll pick you up and we'll start shaping the top from that point. I'll be right back. So currently I have done my rounds number 10 through 14 once, and then I did it again, and then rounds. So currently where I am in the pattern, we did rounds number 10 through 14 once together. Then I asked you to repeat it again, 10 through 14, and now it's 10 through 12. And I'm ending right here on the one that has the two that drop down right in the center. So don't fasten off, because we're now going to start shaping the top, and we're now on the 23rd round to begin coming around it. It will be a really quick ending. Let's begin 23rd. Let's begin number 23. You're going to do the first 3 as a single crochet back loop only, and we're going to skip the next stitch. Noticing where I'm skipping the stitch after the 2 come down, so you'll be skipping those every time you hit that. So you'll skip that stitch and you'll front loop treble 3 rows below, and it will be the same one as this one right here. You see that? And you're gonna do a front loop treble down there, and that counts as the stitch that it's sitting in front of. Okay, so you've skipped one stitch, this one is sitting in front of the other stitch here, so then you do the next 3 in a row. So 1, 2, and 3, and that should take you to the top of the double that you see there. So you skip the next one, front loop treble down, that counts as the stitch that's sitting in front of it, and then single crochet back loop in the next 3. Please do this all the way around. This is the 23rd round. I'm coming around to the end of the 23rd round, just coming right around, and the very last stitch is you skip the next one and then you come on down. Okay, so it's going to be the same stitch as you see here. Do you see that? And then I need you to move that stitch marker up so you can find it in the future, and we're going to move on to the 24th round next. We're going to begin, and we're going to be eliminating more stitches. So remember that this is counting as the stitch that it's sitting in front of, so make sure that you don't count that as a stitch. So now you're just going to continue, and you're going to skip the next one and single crochet in the back loop in the next 3. So 1, 2, 3, and that's your repeat pattern around. So skip the next one and single crochet back loop in the next 3. So skip the next one and do the next 3. Please do this around. This is round number 24. Coming to the end of the 24th round, skip the next one and single crochet the last 3 in a row, and that will take you to the end of the stitch marker that you see. Move that stitch marker up, and we're gonna do the 25th round next. So watch the 25th round. It's probably the hardest round of them all, just to keep it in your mind. So let's begin. We're going to do a front loop treble 3 down. Okay, and then you were going to single crochet the next back loop, and then you were going to do another front loop treble down. Then you skip the next stitch here, see this one, and then you just start the repeat all over again. So if you skip the next stitch, the next one after this is a front loop treble down. See, so you got 2 front loop trebles that go down in a row. You were going to single crochet the back loop of the next one, and then front loop treble down. The way I saw it is that if you look at the stitch work, it kind of works together in tandem. So let's do another repeat just to show you. So look here. So you're gonna skip the next one and you're gonna front loop treble down. Single crochet the back loop of the next one, and then front loop treble down. I'll do it one more time just to make sure you get it. So you skip the next one, so you come on down, single crochet the next back loop, and then come on down. So please do this all the way around. This is round number 25. And just keep an eye on that. The stitch counts are available in the pattern if you're interested in that. Sorry, that one's not that one's not a single crochet there that you have to skip. So please do this all the way around, number 25. So I'm coming all the way back around. I'm just keeping my sequence, and here's what I need you to do. At the end of the sequence here is that you're just going to then this is where you're going to end. So this is what I need you to do. You need to move the stitch marker up for where it's sitting, because you technically have to skip the next stitch. So what I need you to do is just end and move it over so it comes over just one over like that. Okay. So now we're going to begin round number 26. So let's begin the next 26th round. See the stitch marker right here? That's the first stitch. This is the second. Okay, just look at it from this perspective. And you're gonna put those two together on the back loop only. So single crochet two together on the back loop only. Then you're going to drop down and do the front loop treble. So the next two are gonna become together and then drop down. So you're dropping down in between if you look at it from that perspective. So see how they lean next to each other? So they're put those two together and then drop down in between. So please do this all the way around. This is the 26th round. So I'm coming all the way around on the 26th. I'm just continuing to repeat my pattern. And I got those two together and then I come down and my last stitch is a front post, or sorry, a front loop treble. And I need you to move that stitch marker over one more time. Okay, so what we need to do at this point is that we need to move on to the 27th round, really quite easy, and I need you to ignore this one right here, and I'll be right back. The 27th round is going to be a front post half double crochet, and I need you to ignore this one and immediately jump to this here, this front loop here, and you're going to just do as a half double crochet front post. All these front loop trebles are turning into a half double crochet front post, and you'll do that all the way around for the 27th round. I'll be right back. And coming to the end of the 27th round, you should be able to count 16 front post half double crochets. If you don't and it's 15, I wouldn't worry about it too much, to be quite honest with you, but that's hopefully the goal. So now what you need to do, starting in the very next stitch, is that each of these front post half double crochets are each going to get a single crochet into those, and that will help solidify the very top of this. So please do that all the way around. Each half post front post double crochet will each get a single crochet. I'll be right back. Once you come all the way back around, you're single crocheting right to the end, and this is where we're going to stop, and this is where we're going to collect the remaining open hole and pull that shut. So keep a long tail on this, and we're going to show you how to seal this hole. To close the top hole, you're just gonna cut this yarn so you have a tail to work with, and just pull this out through the top. And what you're going to do is put this onto a tapestry needle. Now trace the top of this, and if you want to take out your stitch marker you can, is that you're just gonna trace the top of the stitches with this needle, and you're gonna pull that through. So I pull it together at the end, so I will start feeding it, but I will not pull tight until it's all the way around, and that will allow the circle to close evenly on itself. So just keep in the top here. Sometimes if you add too many stitches to a top of a hat, it can make the top of the hat have a slight point. So by doing it this way, you can get it more to be flat like it should be. And if you want to add a pom-pom, you can do that too. So once it's all the way around, you can simply pull. It pulls everything tight. So now I like to work in like a cross format, so I go directly across. And then I will go in across in the other direction. And I don't want to stay on this side for very long. So that's it for me. So what I'm going to do is just poke it down through the middle and use my hand and open it on the other side and pull this yarn all the way through. And then turn this inside out. So that was the result of the half double crochet front post. So now what I'm going to do is just seal this in and if you want to add a pom-pom you can. And I'm just gonna make sure that it ties onto itself. So I think this can look good with a pom-pom or without. It's up to you on your styling. So once you have that tied in a knot, just weave it in a few times on the top side here. Try not to go to the outside at all, just stay within the fibers. And just weave it back and forth a total of 3 times. And then you can safely cut that. So now you can just pop it the other way, and there is your new hat. So let me just back you out a little bit here. You can try it on. And so I have the other hat here. You can add a pom-pom if you wish, or you can keep it as is. Kind of neat. Maybe a white pom-pom would be awesome for that. You can try it on, and this here is the curtain call hat, and this is another free pattern from the Crochet Crowd on behalf of our friends at yarnspirations.com. We hope you have a good day, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.